Welcome one and all to a very special episode of the Cine Geeks podcast where movies, TV, and all things geek collide. I'm Roy, still joined by my lovely co-host Angela.
Hello!
Hey Angela. And for this, again, very special episode, we will just be helping you, siguro kahit tayo din, helping ourselves unpack the craziness that we just witnessed over the weekend in terms of the news na merong lumabas out of the San Diego Comic-Con as it pertains to the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, let's process it together.
Yes.
Kasi kahit ako parang shocked pa din ako. I don't know what to think or feel about the news.
Sobrang mind-blowing.
Grabe naman binagsak nila, no?
Kaya nga, alam mo yung tulog tayo na pagising ko, parang gising na gising. Wait, what? Ano tong balitang to? Ba't ganito?
Parang emergency warning eh.
Oo. Buti na lang hindi lumabas dun sa ano, parang yung may ano sa phone. Imbis na parang yung orange warning. Lalabas bigla. Toot! Cast as Dr. Doom.
Green warning.
And anyway, before we get over to that meaty section of this episode, real quick lang, if you have any questions, comments, violent reactions to anything, you can just send us a fan mail. Link is on the episode notes or comment below on our Spotify comment section, or you can send us an email at cinegeekspod@gmail.com. Okay, so, yun na nga, let's get to it right away. First big piece of news coming out of this weekend, Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Ikaw muna, sige, tatanungin kita kasi medyo hanggang ngayon, kahit ilang araw na siya nakalipas, medyo mind-blown pa rin ako. Ikaw, what did you think or what were your initial thoughts nung una mo nakita yung balitang yun?
Siguro a lot of people na unang nakabalita dito, syempre na-shock ako. Akala ko muna parang prank. Akala ko hindi totoong news, parang meme lang, fake news. Katulad ng mga kumakalat sa Deadpool na yung fake post-credits na ano, yung cast na cameos.
Sino yung ano? Si
Jenny Blackpink.
Jenny Blackpink. Okay.
And then, nakita ko na, oh my God, Marvel posted it. This must be true. Ang una kong tanong, syempre, how? Kasi, syempre, definitively, Tony Stark is dead, di ba? From an act of self-sacrifice that sent shivers down the timeline.
True.
Para siyang anchor being. So parang it felt right then sa buong kwento ni Tony Stark, yung ending niya. And it was a definitive ending. And now, bringing him back, syempre, ang una kong hinanap is, meron bang basis to sa comics? Is this even possible? So, ayun nga, siyempre, they did away with Kang kasi nga nasira yung plano nila about the Kang Dynasty. Yun sana. Pero now, they're talagang pivoting hard on Dr. Doom being the big bad now. So, parang inisip ko tuloy, how can you do this? How? Kasi at least yung Avengers 1, may build-up yun eh. Pero ito kasi, kailan nila nislate yung Doomsday?
Next year.
2026.
Next year pala. Sorry, tama.
So parang, shucks. Paano yung build-up nito? Yun yung mga parang with this news, parang ang daming questions. Although, I did not know for sure how to feel about it. Syempre, happy ako makita si Downey ulit. Pero parang,
how?
How talaga? Yun yung biggest question.
Tama.
Not why. Kasi, they can make sense of the why eh.
True.
Kasi marami naman palang mga timeline or maraming mga comic book arc na possible. Na mamaya we will discuss. Pero ikaw, what about you?
Syempre ako din, parang ano ba to? Tama ka eh. Sabi mo din na parang prank ba to? Parang chinek ko muna kung verified ba yung mga nagpo-post nung news. Tas immediately punta Reddit. Tas yun na may mga video na nung reveal niya. Which was an epic reveal, by the way. Doon sa Comic-Con. By the way, ano din siya, done at the same time na kinonfirm na the Russos, both Joe and Anthony Russo are back to direct Avengers 5 and 6. By the way, Avengers 5 is now known as Avengers Doomsday. And Avengers 6 is of course Avengers Secret Wars. Yung matagal nang nakalaki yun. Pero yung sinabi mo nga din kanina na the original plan for Avengers 5 to be the Kang Dynasty went up in flames because of Jonathan Majors' issues.
Conviction
pala,
Yeah.
sorry. Yes, he was convicted on some crimes. Basta, huwag na natin ano yan. Pero yun na nga, buti na lang nag-pivot sila. Pero parang tama ka din sa yung una mo sinabi sa akin na how much of a lead time did they have dito sa pivot na to. Kasi
And we have to remember din pati na Fantastic Four is very much parang weaved into the story of Doctor Doom. And it is already in production. Or magsa-start na sila ng production. Pero tapos na yung pre-prod. Di ba sabay sila ng origin?
Somewhat, oo.
Kasi classmate nila si, di ba?
Childhood friend, most of the time sa comics ni Reed Richards si Victor Von Doom.
If ever na pakita nila yung origin story ng Fantastic Four, dapat kasama si Victor Von Doom dun.
Most probably, I am willing to bet na he is in the post-credits scene ng Fantastic Four. By the way, also, another news was yung Fantastic Four movie has a new name, The Fantastic Four First Steps. Yan. What do you think pala, by the way, of that name?
Talagang nag-double down sila dun sa alliteration no?
Fantastic Four First
The Fantastic Four First Steps of
of what?
Infancy. Basta more F words.
Baka maging R-rated din to. Tama kasi si Matt Shakman, director. Di parang Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Always Sunny in Fantastic Four.
In Fantastic Four. Pero, yan, ikaw, anong mo? What do you think the title is implying, kumbaga?
Well, first steps, like what it implies, the implication, di ba? This is the infancy of Fantastic Four. Talagang origin story to, first steps Kaya nga, I am intrigued as to how they will incorporate Victor Von Doom's story. Kasi yung first steps din ni Victor Von Doom, ka-align nung first steps ng Fantastic Four.
Pero yun yung tanong din kasi sinabi na yung Fantastic Four is going to be in a different timeline, a different Earth designation. So 616 tayo lagi. Yung Fantastic Four will be very different place. Ang may nakikita ako na parang speculation on Reddit na magiging parang kwento nitong Fantastic Four is essentially mananalo si Galactus doon.
So Galactus is the big bad?
Siya, talaga. Cast na rin siya.
Sinong Galactus?
Voiced by Ralph Ineson, known to some as being part of the Vivitch. Siya si William doon. Dagmar Clefjo in Game of Thrones, and Nikolai Tarakanov in Chernobyl. So, he's been around, character actor, madalas sa mga genre na mga productions.
Mostly HBO.
Karamihan, oo.
Game of Thrones in Chernobyl
Tama. Pero ito, meron din siyang credits for Harry Potter, Star Wars, Ready Player One.
So, Brit.
So, yes. So, yun yung, the part din na din si Silver Surfer. Cast na rin siya. Using the Shala Bal version of the Silver Surfer. Going to be voiced by Julia Garner.
Oh.
Yung kina Ozark. Yan.
Tsaka si Anna Delvey.
Yan. Yan. Siya din yan.
Ano nga bang title nun?
Inventing Anna.
Inventing Anna.
Yes. Yan. So, yun nga, speculation is rampant na it's not going to end well, itong Fantastic Four First Steps. And maybe in line na rin siya kasi nga parang pinapanood natin yung leaked na preview on YouTube. Na parang sobrang happy jolly nung tone nung footage. Kasi parang heroes na sila Sorry, go.
Yeah, nung napanood ko nga yun, I was reminded of the aesthetic of Fly Me to the Moon movie.
Ay, yan. Tama.
Para siyang yung 60s space fever na going to the moon, yung unang human venture to space. So, yun yung aesthetic niya, very 60s, very cyan, and parang Jetsons, ganon. Which is interesting. And ang ganda, natutuwa ako dun sa aesthetic niya. May pagka-WandaVision din siya.
Matt Shakman
Siya ba yung sa WandaVision?
Siya yung parang majority nung production, nung nag-direct nung WandaVision din.
Kaya pala.
Yes. So,
ikaw, what did you think of it?
Yun nga, natuwa ako kasi pinakita na established na sila. I don't think this is gonna be another origin story, kumbaga.
Na from school pa.
Na parang yung from scratch tapos getting everybody up to speed. Siguro parang the same way kung paano ginawa ni Feige yung Spider-Man Homecoming. Yung ganon. Na, Spider-Man na siya. Tapos yung bits and pieces nung history niya is parang implied in the rest of the story. Or outright na talagang hindi na lang binanggit and parang nagre-rely na lang doon sa previous knowledge ng audience. Medyo hit or miss proposition yun gawin. Lalo na sa Spider-Man, walang problema yun kasi napaka well-known naman ng character. Pero itong Fantastic Four, parang feeling ko kailangan may refresher siya ulit eh.
Tsaka parang buried into forgotten Marvel characters din or Marvel iterations yung Fantastic Four ni Miles Teller. Parang kinalimutan na rin siya, parang yung Fox Universe.
Ano siya parang we don't talk about Fantastic. Yan.
'Di ba? Parang
kung merong Fantastic Four na pwede pag-usapan, yung kina
Jessica
Chris Evans.
Biel,
yan.
Ay, Jessica Alba pala, sorry.
Actually, kaya siguro magandang kaya pinasok si Chris Evans doon sa Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's a spoiler.
Yes. So by the way, if you haven't seen it, first of all, why? Second question, since opening weekend has come and gone, lifted na ang moratorium for spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, sorry. Again, Chris Evans was part of Deadpool and Wolverine as Johnny Storm.
Yes.
So siya yung iteration ng Fantastic Four nila, again, Jessica Alba, etc.
And in-establish din doon na Reed Richards ni Johnny Storm died in the void.
Did you get that impression ba?
Yes. Sinabi niya na parang Reed told me before he died na parang this is like the parang purgatory, so to speak, ng lahat ng mga ng mga universes.
Okay.
Binanggit niya yun.
Okay, hindi ko nahuli yung before he died. Sige, I'll take your word for it.
Tapos nandun, binanggit pa ni Elektra na si Silver Surfer was also there. And he also died fighting Cassandra
Nova. Yes.
Yon. So yung Fantastic Four ni Johnny Storm, Chris Evans.
Siya lang yung natira. R.I.P. Yohan Grufford, Jessica Alba, and Michael Chiklis ba yun? Si Thing? Pero I think part of why he was included then was to parang rekindle interest in the Fantastic Four. So parang yun na lang yung magiging origin story nila.
Mas poster child pa rin nga si Chris Evans as Fantastic Four kaysa dun sa batch ni Miles Teller.
Kasi kahit paano naman for all of its narrative deficiencies, mas enjoyable pa rin naman yung Fantastic Four nila.
Entertaining. Tsaka iconic pa rin yung kanyang
Talagang yung Fantastic sobrang basura lang talaga.
Tsaka mas tumatak si Michael B. Jordan as si cousin Si cousin ni T'Challa.
Killmonger. Yeah.
Si Killmonger. Si Eric.
Buti na lang kinuha siya ulit. Pero anyway, the four of them, the new Fantastic Four will be, as previously announced, si Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and of course, the other cousin. Sino nga ba yan?
Ebon Moss Backrack.
Yes.
Yeah, si cousin from The Bear.
Ben Grimm or The Thing. Mm-hmm. Yes, kaya ang nakaka-intriga kung paano i-introduce actually si RDJ as Dr. Doom. Kasi parang ang implication ba is he already part of the 60s timeline with them? Tapos parang bigla lang siyang nahagip nung parang pagkain ni Galactus doon sa Earth nila or something. Kaya lumipat din siya kasama ng Fantastic Four. Or is RDJ Doom parang already ruling over a universe na wala na yung Fantastic Four doon. So siya yung nagwagi doon sa kanila. Anyway, sorry, go.
Or what if he's still Tony Stark, but he did not become Iron Man? Instead, he became Dr. Doom.
Yun. Ay, wait. Sinabi ba outright na Victor Von Doom siya?
Hindi.
Sinabi lang as Dr. Doom.
Kasi pwedeng hindi siya naging Iron Man, hindi siya nakidnap sa Middle East. Di ba? Pwedeng nag-iba yung course ng history ng buhay ni Tony Stark Kasi this was the 60s. So, sino bang buhay ng 60s Marvel? Was Howard Stark, di ba?
That's true.
What if child Tony Stark had a very different childhood?
Or what if Howard Stark wasn't Howard Stark? Paano kung naging Victor Von Doom pala yung pangalan niya dun sa ibang universe?
Or paano kung masama si Howard Stark doon?
Tapos si RDJ yun.
Hindi, si Howard Stark as the father of Tony Stark. He was a villain.
Victor Von Doom siya. Ooh. We're currently looking at the Instagram page of Marvel Studios.
Okay, so if he's Victor Von Doom, meron ding comic book arc na Victor Von Doom post as Tony Stark.
Yung infamous yun, di ba?
Infamous Iron Man, yes.
Infamous Iron Man. Tama.
So, meron pa rin siyang basis sa comics.
Pwede. Oo.
Tapos yun ding Civil War 2, meron din yan.
Oo.
Na following the events of Civil War 1, parang...
May bagong ang magkaaway naman dun si Captain Marvel tsaka si Iron Man. Si Iron Man pa rin yung kaaway nila dun. Pero namatay si Iron Man dito sa Civil War 2.
So comics. He's gonna die again.
So pwedeng yun na yung endgame. Kung pumalit dun. Tama, ang ganda nun actually. Yung mong na para siyang infamous Iron Man nga, na ang pumalit doon sa parang mantle niya of Tony Stark is si Victor Von Doom. From another world.
Kasi na-establish naman na sa multiverse, hindi always the same face yung character.
That's
diba?
true.
Case in point, si Wolverine.
Not
all Wolverines are Hugh Jackmans. So let's just leave it at that. Sa mga hindi pa nakapanood. Kasi that's a mind-blowing surprise. I wouldn't want to take that away from you.
True. Ito na lang, sige, one last before we move on to the other sub-surprises introduced last Saturday, Pacific time. Yung kila Russos, how do you feel about that? Them coming back? Do you think that was parang needed? Is Marvel like parang in desperation? Anong basa mo dun?
I wouldn't say desperation. Kasi mas desperation actually sa iba siguro. And slightly, siguro, I can agree na mas desperation yung casting ni RDJ as Dr. Doom. Kasi there are other actors, let's just say that. And parang ayoko na kasing galawin yung legacy ni Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark kasi that was a perfect run. That was a perfect 10-year arc.
Yes.
Na talagang beautifully closed na book. Napaka ganda ng pagkakasulat. So, sana hindi na ginalaw. Pero parang, sige, if it's worth it, sige. Parang this is a very huge gamble to put their chips on RDJ again to save Marvel. So, parang they finally admitted that RDJ is Marvel Jesus talaga. Because he resurrected. They resurrected him. Mas desperate yon. Pero yung kay Larusso, it only makes sense for me. Kasi wala pang napatunayan si Destin.
Dapat siya na. Actually, sige yun. Side note lang before, Destin Daniel Cretton, yung director ng Shang-Chi. Siya dapat yung director ng Avengers na Kang Dynasty. Of course, we know what happened there. Pero sige, go ahead. Please continue.
Actually, gusto ko nga siya sana. Kasi nagustuhan ko yung Shang-Chi. Yeah. And I'm still disappointed na hindi pa rin siya binabalik into the fold. Although, nagsasabi naman si Simu Liu sa Threads. He's very active on Threads, by the way. Ang dami niyang doon, hanash. Sinasabi naman niya na just wait for the announcement. Now, I'm wondering if meron pa bang panel ang Marvel sa SDCC kasi walang announcement about Shang-Chi. Mayroon
tayong naging parang isa pang na-raise na point dyan, nag-uusap tayo when we were watching yung footage, na hindi kaya, theory lang natin to, na supposedly yung Deadpool and Wolverine is like the hardest of the hard resets nitong MCU. Kumbaga, yung lahat ng mga lumabas na mga properties from Black Widow onwards hanggang The Marvels. Hindi naman sabihin na i-ignore, pero parang parang silang kung si Batman Pattinson doon sa DC na merong mainline DC na ginagawa with James Gunn, pero sabi nila na hindi nila gagalawin yung DC ni Pattinson kasi parang Elseworlds yung tawag nila. So parang kukunin lang nila yung mga characters na in-introduce from 2020 to 2023 para lang dun sa Secret Wars na. Pero essentially, yung Avengers natin kumbaga ulit, etong si Deadpool, tapos si Captain America Maki, and then Thunderbolts, tapos si Blade.
Sinong Blade?
Si Mahershala pa rin naman. Di man nakakancel yun
Okay.
Pero, tapos si Fantastic Four. Tapos yung Avengers 5, yun yung ano nila, yun yung unang Avengers ulit. So parang phase 1 tayo ulit.
Oh my God. Alam mo ba, parang last year, meron tayong episode, kakatapos lang ng Secret Invasion. Tapos sabi natin, what the hell is happening, Marvel? And now that you touched upon yung lahat ng mga inintroduce na Marvel characters post-Endgame, sobrang dami na to mention.
Yes.
Pero, I think na yung Deadpool and Wolverine is just parang pang-close lang talaga nila. Parang closure lang talaga ng Fox Universe yun.
Aww.
Hindi siya to restart the MCU. They can't solve ilang phase yun, 2 phase ng failed MCU movies and shows. This is just to close the Fox Universe na parang matapos lang. And to parang transition in yung mga Fox characters into MCU. Yung mga relevant na characters. That's it. Parang we know that Deadpool and Wolverine is a big movie, but let's not put that on them to fix everything that's wrong sa Marvel.
True.
After Endgame. This is just one movie. And hindi pa nga sila part ng MCU before this. So why do you expect them to fix everything? Yun lang. Second, kung meron mang magre-reset ng lahat ng MCU post-Endgame, I think it would be Loki Season 2. Dahil yung multiverse na hawak ni Loki ngayon, mas siya yung may control nun, and yung mga variants, mas siya yung naghahandle. So, TVA will be the one na parang sila talaga yung pwedeng mag-reset ng mga timelines and ng mga characters. Possibly.
Sige, ito. I'm so glad that you brought up yung Loki Season 2. Kasi, judging by yung release date niya, which is parang yun natin yung ginagamit nilang quote-unquote chronological order ng mga series of events sa MCU. Loki Season 2 came out October 2023. Phase 4 ng MCU came out from July 2021 hanggang November 2022. Sabihin natin, isama na natin yung November 2023 ng The Marvels.
Okay.
So within that span of time, okay, pwedeng itong Black Widow hanggang The Marvels, kasama siya dun sa, sabihin natin yung Black Widow hanggang Guardians 3 na lang. Siya yung mga kinonsolidate ni Loki na timelines. Essentially, anything that had to do with Kang is ignored. Actually, yung Black Widow nga, na-solve na rin yan kasi kasama na si Yelena at saka si Red Guardian sa Thunderbolts eh. So, they're good.
Actually, hindi sila affected.
Si Shang-Chi lang.
Yung Shang-Chi nga, hindi naman siya connected kay Kang eh.
Pero, pumunta sila sa Camartage. Tapos tinanong ano yung 10 rings. Tapos sinabi, meron daw microscopic parang quantum world within the rings. So, di ba yung kay Wong?
Oo nga.
So, ang implication dun is, it's Kang technology.
Oh my God, Wong. Naalala ko tuloy yung appearance niya sa She-Hulk. Let's not talk about that.
Yun na nga, parang lumalabas na hard reset din eh. Kasi ito, yung Eternals actually, yung Black Widow Eternals, pwede nating tanggalin din yan. Yung No Way Home, ibang universe yung implications
actually,
niyan.
Parang ang siya yung Deadpool and Wolverine for Sony naman. For Sony Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
Parang siya yung naging closure ng lahat, ng 3 Spider-Man na nag-e-exist sa Sony Marvel. Di ba?
Oo. Tapos itong Deadpool and Wolverine, siya yung closure ng lahat ng mga X-Men na nag-exist doon sa parang Fox Universe. Tama. Pero itong si Black Widow, so si Yelena at saka si Red Guardian nasa Thunderbolts, asterisk. Eternals, they're going to finally address Tiamut sa Captain America Brave New World.
Okay, after 3-4 years.
After 5 years. After 4 years. Tama ka, 2025 pala. Tama.
Okay,
sorry.
Why not?
Pero yung Shang-Chi, Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever, Quantumania.
Oh my God.
And sige, sabi natin hanggang Quantumania kasi may respeto pa rin naman si Feige kay James Gunn. Pero yung mga yun, pwede na essentially i-ignore. Pwede na silang parang Elseworlds, kwento sila na it's one multiverse that we're not going to touch. And then, ito yung main line natin ulit.
Question. Yung ending ng The Marvels, di ba, si Monica, napunta siya sa ibang universe, di ba? Tumawid siya.
Punta siya X-Men.
Hindi, ang tanong, sinabi ba kung anong designation ng universe na yon, ng Earth na yon?
Hindi din sinabi.
Pero, anong timeline? Is it in the past?
Ang feeling ko doon sa X-Men na kay Beast, di ba? Fox Universe yon.
So, nag-e-exist ang X-Men doon and part ng X-Men si Maria Rambeau. Kasi naka-uniform siya, di ba?
Yung Maria Rambeau doon. Tama.
Naka-X-Men uniform siya?
Oo.
Okay.
Yung X-Men variant doon. Pero, ano yung silbi ng ending nun? Kasi, again, consolidated na rin yung X-Men dito sa Deadpool and Wolverine.
So, hindi pa rin natin maisasama yung The Marvels. Kasama siya dun sa mga nireset ni Loki.
Pwede. Kasi ang daming niyang parang narrative fluff na mga sinama over the years of Bob Chapek na parang sige nang labas ng palabas kahit hindi na nagme-make sense.
Yun na nga yung danger actually nung next year kasi nga they are bracing for an Avengers 5. So, kailangan nila ng mas maraming chapters para mag-lead up to that. So, they will do that again. They will put out a lot of movies and series building up dun sa Doomsday. So, kinakabahan ako. Yun ang pinaka parang main emotion ko about Doomsday. Yung biglang liko nila, biglang pivot nila from Kang Dynasty to that.
Pero, ang nakikita kong future ng mga TV show is hindi na sila masyadong kasama doon sa movie timeline.
Oo, okay na din yun. Okay na ako doon kasi Agatha, ano bang relevance niya dun sa grand scheme of things? Kasi lalabas pa rin nila yun eh.
Oo, pero kasi meron naman yung Daredevil, tas yung Ironheart, tas may Wakanda show pa pala to na hindi ko alam na ginagawa pa pala nila. Pwedeng ang gawin na lang nila to, may own corner na, di ba kung parang yung Netflix na mga Marvel nun?
Okay.
Na parang siyang they can
yung
be...
Defenders ba?
Tama, yes, that's right. Parang they can be referred to as existing, but they don't have to be shown all the time unless needed. And yung unless needed na yun is Avengers 6 kasi Secret Wars. So lahat yun pagkasama-samahin talaga. Pero hindi sila kailangan na importante sila dun sa kwento.
Required na viewing.
Yun, oo.
Tapos, isa pa, Agatha is parang integral to the story of Wanda. Patay na si Wanda. Pinatay nila sa Multiverse of Madness. I mean, not technically kasi hindi pinakita yung katawan niyang patay. Pero, binaon siya. Diba? Dun sa cave.
Feeling ko yung Agatha all along.
Wanda all along.
Mas maganda nga kung si Wanda na lang bida eh. Yung Agatha all along, feeling ko ano yan, tinuloy na lang nila kasi nagsisave face sila. Ayaw nila ng isa pang Scarlett Johansson issue. Siguro mas malaking kaaway si Catherine Han.
Wow, more than Scarlett Johansson?
Well, sometimes the ones na we think are the parang mid-players, sila pa yung mas may clout sa Hollywood talaga. Pero yun, feeling ko na parang okay, sige na, para lang ma-fulfill yung contractual obligation na may show din si Catherine Han as Agatha, Wanda, as Agatha. Ginawa na lang nila. Kasi itong Ironheart, alam ko parang 2022 pa to sinabi. Tapos lumabas siya dun sa Wakanda Forever. Tapos hindi pa rin namalabas yung show niya. 'Di ba? Parang ano bang point nitong Ironheart?
Ang dami pa. Meron pang yung kid din dun sa
yung Echo, ito pa.
Yung kid sa Multiverse of Madness, yung kasama ni Doctor Strange. Yan ang nangyari dun.
Ayun. 'Di ba?
'Di ba nakakatawid siya ng mga iba-ibang universe? Yun yung power niya.
Si Stargirl. Kalimutan ko yung pangalan niya. Yun.
Si Stargirl.
Oo.
America something.
America Chavez. Basta, ako, wala na. Hindi na sila importante. Pwede na silang i-ignore. Any MCU under the Bob Chapek era can be ignored na.
Ay, kailangan nila ng pangligpit doon. Very much like Deadpool and Wolverine.
Baka bigla mag-announce ng Loki Season 3.
Kailangan nilang i-prune yung mga yon kung hindi na sila relevant. Kasi, di ba?
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's it for yung kung paano tatakbuhin nito. May dalawa pang inintroduce na parang sine dito sa Marvel Extravaganza in Comic-Con. Yung second day nila. Captain America, Brave New World, and Thunderbolts Asterisk. Nakakatuwa makita dun sa yung sa Brave New World na panel. Parang biglang ang liksi niya, no? Ni Harrison Ford bigla.
Parang whatever amount they paid Harrison Ford must be bigger than Star Wars money. Kasi yun na yata yung pinaka-energetic na nakita si Harrison Ford promoting a movie.
True.
Grabe, nag-Hulk out siya eh.
Kahit nga yung sa Indiana Jones niya, parang hindi naman niya pinromote ng ganito.
Oo, yung Dial of Destiny. Our first episode.
Yes. Shucks. Episode 1. Yeah. Pero yun, nakaka-surprise na yun nga, hindi lang nag-Hulk out. Nagkukuli, nagtatakbuhan sila sa stage ni Anthony Mackie. Parang wait,
tsaka
man.
Naghahabulan ng hahabol siya, di ba?
You're 82 years old, man. Parang, yung mo, yung balakang
mga kasukasuan mo, lo.
Oo.
Asan yung skillan mo?
So, kaya, sana, mas okay yung pagtrato ng MCU sa kanya kaysa sa both the Star Wars sequel trilogy and Indiana Jones 5.
Nabasa ko nga sa parang isang Reddit thread na ang sabi, yung enthusiasm ni Harrison Ford, it's not really about the money. Kasi for sure, mas malaki naman yung kinita niya sa Indiana Jones and sa Star Wars.
True.
Pero siguro talagang happy siya dun sa trajectory ng character. Parang he wants great storytelling. And sinabi niya din dun na parang, I wanted a piece of the action. Kasi sobra niyang excited. Feeling ko mukhang maraming magandang plan si Feige for Ross eh. Kasi parang merong moment dun sa isa sa mga parang ramblings ni Harrison Ford na inawat siya ni Feige eh. Kasi mukhang muntik ng madulas eh.
Actually, feeling ko may nadulas nga siya kasi sabi niya parang yung things are gonna get fantastic ba daw?
Oo, yun nga eh. Sabi ko, tapos biglang nag-interrupt si Feige.
Sabi ni Feige parang, yes. So that's Captain America, Brave New World.
Excited si Lolo.
Awat lo.
Oo. Oh, ay, no.
Muntik nang ma-spoil.
Pero mukhang excited siya about it kasi talagang nakita mo eh, ibang-iba yung energy ni Harrison Ford dito.
Iba. But we haven't seen him be this enthusiastic for a property in a while.
Parang nung una nating nakita si Kawai na tumawa.
Oo, parang gano'n.
Parang gano'n. Huh? Ang weird, makitang nakangiti siya. Tsaka ang saya-saya niya. Parang no.
Ba't ka nakangiti? Ang
parang,
weird mo.
There's a glitch in the Matrix.
True. Tapos ito din tong Thunderbolts. Asterisk.
So
by the way, sinabi ni Feige na may dahilan kung bakit asterisk. May asterisk na sa title ng Thunderbolts. Pero as previously announced, they are a group of either villains, straight-up villains, or anti-heroes. Andito na din si Sebastian Stan as Bucky. Siya yung leader ng Thunderbolts. Joining him is si Ghost, Hannah John Kamen, si US Agent, si Wyatt Russell, Yelena Bulova, si Florence Pugh, Red Guardian, David Harbour, pati si Taskmaster, babalik din. So, I hope masalvage nila yung character niya.
Valentina, si Julia,
and,
diba?
Yes, of course. Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine or Val. Na siya yung director daw ng CIA dito sa world na to.
So, in a way, para siyang Suicide Squad.
Oo. Oh no.
Tapos si Julia Louis-Dreyfus, si Val.
Si Amanda Waller.
Yes. Kasi nga, they are parang neither villains nor heroes. Parang mga bunch of misfits. Ganon.
True.
Okay, interesting.
Oo.
The Marvel Suicide Squad.
Yan. Pero feeling, ito naman yung ano dun eh. Again, babalik natin sa how do they play or how do they parang fit into the larger plan moving forward. Kasi if we're building up to Doomsday and then Secret Wars, ganun bang kalaking kalaban si Dr. Doom? Na kailangan natin ng Thunderbolts, kailangan natin ng
Fantastic
Four. May feeling ako na itong Thunderbolts kakampi kay Doom sa Doomsday. Primarily din because feeling ko magto-turn si Bucky kay Tony. Kay Sam.
Against.
Kasi you're not Steve.
Okay, so why are you taking on the mantle?
Parang
hindi niya matanggap.
Hindi niya matanggap na hindi na si Steve yung Captain America.
Tsaka diba parang dalawa silang in contention?
Yun, pwede din yun. Na parang,
for Captain America kasi sila naman talaga ni ang dapat super soldiers.
Bakit hindi si Bucky yung Captain America ngayon? Diba? Yun.
Pero ang sabi ni Bucky mismo na parang it should be you. Diba?
Pwede din.
In fairness, naging relevant bigla yung Captain America and Winter Soldier because of this. So at least happy ako na may pinuntahan yung mga series na yun.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier pala, sorry.
No, okay lang.
Even yung introduction ni Wyatt Russell doon, at least may napuntahan.
Actually, for all the shit we said about yung Falcon and Winter Soldier, si Wyatt Russell yung pinaka-okay na part doon.
Oo.
Kahit mas na-overshadow pa niya si Anthony Mackie.
Oo nga.
Para sa akin.
I'm still rooting for Anthony Mackie kahit papano na sana maging successful tong Captain America niya.
Yung Brave New World. Sorry, masabi ko lang, ang corny ng banat niya dun sa panel.
Yung kay,
Yung kay Tom Holland. Yung parang, what can you say about Tom Holland saying that you're never gonna get a Falcon movie? Sabi niya?
You still not 5'11".
Yung pusa.
Parang
yeah,
weird flex but okay.
Miscellaneous thoughts na lang about the panels na we saw. Kasi may YouTube video, full 40 minutes panel. Siyempre, excluding the exclusive footage. There's an air of kaba doon sa lahat ng panel.
Yes. You can feel it also kasi hindi sila nakaupo, nakatayo lang sila.
Diba?
Napaka unrelaxed ng demeanor nila kasi they are so exposed.
Oo.
Tapos parang they are all new, especially yung Fantastic Four. Tapos Anthony Mackie is acting like parang endgame junket pa rin. Parang
siya yung naka-11 yung energy niya, tapos yung kasama niya parang kabadong-kabado.
There is a nervous air. May nervous energy. Especially sa si Tony, si RDJ lang ang wala. As usual. Wala naman yata siyang ganun sa katawan.
Kaya nga ito yung nakakatawa doon kasi parang wala yung swagger nung pre-endgame na mga Comic-Con doon sa panels nila last Saturday. Pero nung lumabas itong si Feige, yung mga Russo at saka si RDJ para doon sa Doomsday na announcement, parang bumalik yung feeling na, the old
good
MCU.
Old days.
Yes,
But then again, meron pa rin parang mas maraming questions actually.
True.
Alam mo yung, yes, we are all for RDJ, we're all for the Russos. Parang, yes, we'll put our money there. Pero, parang, how are you gonna pull this off? You have to pull this off. Kasi, parang you are pulling the big guns here. And,
sana lang mag-pay off siya.
Kahit si Feige, parang
Feige we trust naman ako. May isa pa akong observation na sinabi sa'yo doon na parang yung buong panel, it was planned, kumbaga, na parang sobrang low expectations nung magiging response ng tao. Na kahit sila wala nung masyadong pump and circumstance na usually companies the previous MCU announcements na gano'n. Kung if you look back dun sa yung infamous na announcement ni Feige noong 2019 na yung may mga Blade tsaka yung mga kono namang in-announce niya na hindi naman nagkatotoo.
Parang mga VotCon.
Parang gano'n. Pero yung energy nila parang talagang, we're on top of the motherfucking world talaga.
Kaya lang pinababa muna sila sa lupa. Touch some grass, Kevin Feige.
Pero ngayon parang biglang wala yung ganong wala yung energy na parang we're untouchable.
They are riding on the coattails of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yun nga.
Kasi yun yung pinaka-on high ngayon. Pero yun nga, parang the feeling that I had for Eternals and for Secret Invasion, I don't wanna feel that feeling for RDJ and the Russo brothers. Kaya they must make this work.
I have confidence that they will.
Kasi yung eye roll ko tungkol kay Kit Harington, kay Harry Styles, yung mga decision na yun, yung kay Hercules, parang doon na, I don't want to feel that way about RDJ.
Di ba yung mga ganun na ako sa akin mas preferred ko na ibaon na lang sa limot yon yung mga mistakes na yon. Sabihin na lang nila na it's a pocket universe somewhere na parang we unfortunately had the misfortune of watching imbis na sinundan natin yung main kwento.
Yes.
Para lang malinis na, mag-housekeeping na lang ba sila, kumbaga.
Pati yung sa She-Hulk, ginawang bida si Kevin Feige doon.
Ano yun? Pero hindi si Feige, pero may Kevin.
May Kevin na parang
yung robot.
Na makeup.
Oo. Pero, ang mas maganda dito, yung way ng Deadpool and Wolverine na hindi masyadong sobrang, Kevin Feige masyado. May mga allusions, twice, sinabi yung pangalan niya, pero hindi siya yung parang dun sa tama ka She-Hulk na parang
sobrang shoehorned talaga na parang She-Hulk, you're not Deadpool, okay?
Tama.
Basta. Tapos, yun pa, sinayang nila si Tim Roth dun.
Sayang na sayang. Ginawa niyang joke. Everyone was a joke doon sa...
Even actually, Wong was a joke there. Parang bada si Wong pero ginawa siyang katawa-tawa doon.
Yung time period na yun, essentially.
Just siguraduhin nyo lang na maayos tong Doomsday kasi sana don't lang break our hearts.
Sana lang.
Sobrang pessimist ko ba?
Di naman.
Cinegeeks, if you feel the same way as I do, please, damayan nyo naman ako.
Yeah. By the way, yun nga, sinabi natin ulit sa start of the episode na you can please contact us or let us know what you think of our discussion today in this emergency episode of the Cinegeeks podcast. By the way, where, again, can they find us for more news and tidbits about reviews and stuff? We
are on Facebook, Instagram, X, aka Twitter, on Letterboxd, and Threads.
TikTok din?
On TikTok as well. Dami kasi.
Dami. Yeah. So, I guess that's it for this special episode of the Cinegeeks podcast. Talking about the craziness that was Marvel Saturday nung San Diego Comic-Con. Once again, this has been your host Roy, and for my lovely co-host Angela, we thank you for listening to the Cinegeeks podcast, where movies, TV, and all things geek collide.